welcome to LO3 Task 2, and this is to create and repurpose assets to be used in the product and evidence them. And this is for the R087 Interactive Multimedia. So I've changed the motivational quote slightly to include character. Character is a very important aspect of our lives, and it's the way in which we are. So in this situation, we have a quote which refers to character, and this one is from an author called Sam Ewing, and it is hard work spotlights the character of people. Some turn up their sleeves, some turn up their noses, and some don't turn up at all. So something for you to think about. So we'll just review the checklist briefly, and same as before, we're on LO3. Here's your iMedia grades and the equivalents. So even if your target grade is a level 1 pass, please do not feel as though you have to do the level 1 pass criteria. You can do the level 2 distinction criteria if you wish. But if you start off with the target grade that you and get that as a minimum, so if yours is a level 2 pass, get this as a minimum, then try and work further. So we're going to look at the checklist now, and it's on row 136, so I went down all the way to lesson 19, LO3 Task 2, create and repurpose assets to be used in the product and evidence them. So like before, we'll look at the level 1 pass, what you'd have to do to get an F grade or a number 2 for your GCSE. And all you have to do is create and find some of the assets you think you can for this project. Now, we've done that more or less. So if you've done the task previously, you will have got a level 1 pass. However, there's a key word here, create an asset. So actually, previously we didn't create an asset. So if you just went into Paint, simple app here, and if you drew a quick picture of a, let's see, in a GIMP, just for your logo. So if you just wrote the word GIMP, so just excuse the quality, GIMP, connect the G together. That's a creation of an asset. So if I did File, Save As, and then I put that in the folder I created at the start, LO3. I could put it in, in fact, I'd probably make a new folder called Task 2, and I can call this Creation of Assets. I could even put Task 2 in Task 1, but just for ease of showing the video, I'll do it like this. And if I put it in there, call it GIMP logo, I've now, in fact, created a logo. So just to show you, R087, LO3, Task 2, GIMP logo. So that's been made. Says GIMP, and I can insert that into my presentation at some point. But that's just to get the level 1 pass. So really, for me, that wouldn't be good enough unless that's your target grade. So let's look at the level 2 merit, which is here. So to get a B grade or a 6. So it says create and find all of the assets you think you can for this project, which I started doing and you guys should have finished off by now. It says here to repurpose at least 3 existing assets into new assets for your project. So that means we need to open the images that we've got, or the videos that we've got, or the sounds that we've got, and change them slightly. Then it says to take screenshots of the assets you've created and repurposed and explain with detailed annotation how you made them and with what tools, and insert it into your presentation report. So that's what we're going to work on in today's session. So I started off briefly with Paint. So if I go into Paint again, and if I open up one of the images, so the the original image that I had. We just go back to LO3 in task 1. Well, the only image I had was the men's abs salad. So if I open it in Paint, I'll need to decide what I'd want to change. So what I'd want to change would be, I could just get rid of this table in the background. So if I go with that, getting rid of the table, I could just get an eraser. I could zoom in. So to zoom in, I can press Control and plus on my keyboard. It won't work in video capture format. So if I click on View, change the zooming in, and then I can simply erase the table really carefully. And as I get closer to the body, I can zoom in further. I'm just going to do this roughly, just so we can see how it looks. Um, and that, and there's the bit I do. I need to then save this as a image. I'll put this in the the task 2 creation of assets. I can call this men's abs salad edited. Press save. Press OK. That's done. Now that is using Paint. Now those of you familiar with Photoshop, which I haven't actually got at home, I've got an equivalent piece of software called GIMP, which should be at school as well. I would highly recommend GIMP, in fact, because it's free and you can download it at home, and it's just as good as Adobe Photoshop. I'm going to show you a few skills which will make your editing fantastic fantastic when you're editing photos. So at the start, I'll file, open. I'll go to the desktop. I'll go to that task 2 folder. Sorry, not task 2, it was task 1, the original edit of the man. So LO2, LO3, task 1, men's abs. So I'll open this again. So I've got men's abs. Now, so first thing you want to do is, if I can just make this window a bit smaller. Now, if you can imagine, if you put this on a presentation, one thing that's annoying is that the white areas will just be white. So if there's a red background at the back, it will look silly just plunked on the presentation. So what would be nice is if there's a red background, the red shows through these white areas here and here and here. So it looks as though the picture's blended in. So to do that, you need to first of all go to Layer, Transparency, and make sure you add an alpha channel. Alpha channel has already been added for me already, but make sure you got Add Alpha Channel selected. And a fantastic tool to use is the fuzzy select tool or the magic wand. Now remember, you need to talk about this in your report. So if I click on the magic wand, I can then click on an area. And what that's done is selected all of the similar colors to where I clicked. Now if I press delete on my keyboard, you'll see this is black and grey, or dark grey and light grey. What that means, it's see-through when we use it. So again, I'll click here, and it's selecting all of the similar colors automatically without me having to go in with the eraser. Now, it'll get a bit confusing down here because his shorts are similar to the background color. But let's just see what happens. So I've got a lot of the similar colors out. Let's try this bit here. So it's doing it in sections. I might get rid of it of his shorts a little bit, but that's a nice effect. So a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit here. Could go further to get rid of the table as well. Make that transparent. So all I'm doing with the magic wand, clicking, then pressing delete on the keyboard. Clicking and pressing delete. Clicking, pressing delete, and I'll just finish off. I know there's a few bits which still need doing. I could finish that actually off with an eraser pen, sorry, not the plaster or the healing tool, the eraser. Keep the brush big. Oh, in fact, it's a bit too big. If I take the size down, I've got to make sure the layer is selected first. Now that had me puzzled for a few seconds. Now basically the reason the eraser is not working is because something else is selected. Can you see this little bit here? There's a selection. If I press escape first, sorry, not escape. If I click here and then click anywhere on the screen, that gets rid of the selection. Can you see it's not selected now? Now if I go back to the eraser, I can start erasing the table legs out. I can erase this bit out. The corner areas here, I can erase these. And all of a sudden, everything's starting to look quite good. So I'm just going to leave it as that. Now, if I press File, Save As. Now remember, I don't just press Save because I need to put it in the appropriate folder. So it's LO3, it's Task 2 now. I'm going to be making a copy, and I'll keep it as Men's Abs Salad. And I'll just, in fact, sorry. I'll just save it as this, Men's Salad Ab Salad, and I'll just call it GIMP so I know that I did it in GIMP, and I'll just press save, save, first button. That's saved. Now, before I can use this file now in anything, I need to not just save it because it's saving as an XCF file. An XCF file is used as it using GIMP, so we can't use it in PowerPoint. So what I'm going to do is export it as. So I'll export it to Task 2 Creation, and I am going to state that it's already selected PNG. That's fine. I'm going to leave it as a PNG. Okay. So I'll press export. Export as a PNG, and I'll just press. In fact, I'll give it a file name first. Cancel that. Called GIMP. I'll just call GIMP edit background, just so I can remember what I did. Edit background. Press export, and then press export again. That's been done. So let's see what the difference is then. What have I actually done? So I'm going to close GIMP, and I'm going to open up a fresh PowerPoint. So File, New, Blank Presentation, and I'm going to change the background to a different color. So if I go with that color, if I just delete the boxes in the middle by clicking on the edge and pressing delete on the keyboard, I'm now going to insert the abs man in the original situation where he was just an asset from the internet. So we saved him as the abs man here. That's how it looks. As you can see, all that white background area is there. So if he's used as our logo, it just wouldn't look right. It's a square block. However, if I insert a picture and I insert the one that I exported, which was in task 2, men's abs salad edited background, the same thing appears. Now, this is a problem, and it's a problem that I did by purpose. So the issue that I created on purpose with the background is easily rectified. So if I open up GIMP again, luckily, if you remember, I saved the XCF file. So what that means is it's still available in GIMP. So if I do File, Open, I go to Desktop R087. It's LO3 Task 2. So remember the XCF file that contains all the editing of the image. So if I open that, that's still present. Now, the thing that I missed out was when I go to when I went to layer, and at the start, do you remember I went to transparency and I added the alpha channel? One thing that we also need to do is to do with the image. So in the image menu, so it's not the image menu, it's, let's see, sorry, that's it. So transparency, add alpha channel. So it's the same menu. We go to mask. We need to put an add layer mask. And what that does, if you look at the bottom here, it says something. So mask, add layer mask. So it adds a mask that allows non-destructive editing of transparency. That means we can see through it. So if I add the layer mask this time, leave it as white, which is full opacity, press add. Now when I file export as, again, I'll put it in creation of assets. I can call it the same as this, so I can just overwrite it because this is the one that I wanted. Press replace, export. Now this time I'll cross GIMP off. I suppose I could just save it as well, just as an XCF, so I know it's saved. Cross off, go back to the PowerPoint here. Now this time when I insert that image, so insert pictures, this device, R087, LO3, Task 2, this is the one, the GIMP one, edited background, double click, and there you go. You have an image. If I can make it bigger, you can see it better. Can you see it has transparency, so we can see behind. So if there's color behind, we can see behind it. Whereas these are just full blocks, square. Okay, so that's something we can do. That's repurposed. So that image has actually been repurposed now, and you'd need to talk about what you did in order to get that repurposed. Talk about the input, the alpha channel, the layer mask, and what you did there in GIMP. Now, other things in GIMP which make GIMP so nice to use is once we open it, we can do a lot of advanced features. I'm just going to go through a couple just so you can have a look at what you can do. So I'll open the, I'll just go the long route, LO3. Keep your files organized, very important. I can just open I'll just open this original image. And what you can do is go to colors, hue, saturation, and if you play around with the hue saturation, you can change the colors quite a lot. But again, just think of your audience, think of why you're going to do it. Don't just do it randomly. Okay. So we can do it like that, or we can select a certain area. So to select with the lasso tool, we can maybe, if we just select one of his abs, so click, click, and basically you're going to click around until your first click hits your last click. Then you're going to double click in the middle. Now that area has been selected now. So if I go to colors, hue, saturation, I can just pick on that one ab. So maybe you could do a separate color for each ab. So that's quite a funky way to do a bit of changing and modifying. So again, you can go on YouTube to find other advanced features of GIMP. I've given you the basics, which will be very useful when you're doing your modifying of images. Now we can actually edit a few of the images, which is an easy thing to do now that I've shown you. But to make it even easier to achieve the marks, we can actually make our own sound as well. So I've gone to a website called Audacity, whereby I'd like to download this, the installer, and we can move forward and actually make sound, record a sound. Now, when we record a sound, show you the best way to download it. Just bear with me, I'll get the easiest way to download it. So you can use Audacity, which actually, if we think about it, this could be a long procedure installing software. Now, most people have phones, so actually, you've got a sound recorder on your phone, or you can download an app. You just record a sound that's creating of an asset, and the way to get that asset then into your folder, you would then email it to yourself and then download it into your folder as an attachment. And there you have a created asset. So let's look back at the checklist. Have we satisfied level 2 merit? So create and find all the assets you can think of for this project. Well, if you've done your job correctly, you have. Repurpose at least 3. So I've showed you 1. I suppose the fact that you're going to create some of your own individual assets, that could count towards the 3. The fact that we took the background out of the man abs, that's 1 in itself. The fact that we changed the hue and saturation of one of the abs, that's 2. And if you change some hue and saturation or do something else like using the eraser tool, that'll actually be 3. So that would be an easy way to prove that you've done 3. I suppose that's 3. That's 3 tools, though, I suppose. So you need to do it to 3 existing assets. So you'll have to think about, yeah, you'll have to do it on 3 particular assets. So in your videos, what you could do is just trim the video. So if you use Movie Maker to trim off certain sections of the video, just justify it and say why you did it, that would be a second one. And if you just do another image, that'll be 3. So just editing 3 existing images. Make sure you create a couple as well. Take screenshots of the assets you've created and repurposed and explain with detailed annotation how you made them and with what tools, and insert it into your presentation report. So again, we can just go into LO3 commentary, and then we can make another title underneath. Title can be Task 2, Editing Assets. So you can start off with man abs. So you could say something like, I took out the background as I am going to use him as a logo, if that was the case. I did this in GIMP by adding a layer mask and an alpha channel. I then exported the GIMP file as a PNG, which supports transparency. That's one done. And you could just say man abs again. I changed the hue saturation, and you need to say exactly why. Then you have to go further, talk about the video edits. Why? Now, don't forget the screenshot. So that's quite simple. Because we put it in our PowerPoint, we could just show this PowerPoint, which demonstrates the changes that you made. We don't have to talk into too much detail about that, but crop it up to make it look good. Format, crop, and there you go. That shows clearly what you did, change the background compared to the other two. So the commentary document can just be saved. Talk a little bit about the fact you created a few of your own assets as well. That would go down well. So let's just check the checklist. Take screenshots of the assets you created and repurposed and explained, detailed annotation, yeah, and made and with what tools. Talked about the tools, and I've inserted it into the presentation, into the report, yeah. So we've successfully done LO2, Task 2. Need to do a bit of research for your video editing, what you're going to use to trim your videos down. Like I said, I use Loom, which is what's been created here. I created this video with Loom. You could do it with Windows Movie Maker, and I'm pretty sure there's some apps on your phones where you can edit videos, or maybe add things to the video. So like the confetti that I put into the presentation, which I think I can do. Let's see if I can do it here. No, it's not coming up, but yeah, there you go. That confetti, that's editing and video. So if I can put that in the video, I've edited the video for a particular need. So that's the conclusion of LO3 Task 2. And if you can work hard on that, and I will be creating another video for LO3 Task 3. Thank you.